One of three matches in the books for Canada at the 2026 World Cup. Of course, that 1-1 draw to open the tournament in Toronto. The Reds, Les Rouges, they are on the Lower Mainland now in Vancouver as they prepare for Qatar and the Swiss. First match coming up Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Pleased to welcome to the program a man with 18 proud caps for his country and multiple Canadian Premier League titles under his belt. It is the one and only Kyle Bekker, the Forge skipper and pundit for the day. Kyle, great to see you. We're going to start with the topic that we have been volleying around the office ourselves. Canada won, Bosnia and Herzegovina won. Canada did not lose, but factually, Canada also did not win the World Cup opener like the other co-host did. I'm wondering, now that you've had a couple of days to think about it, is this a good result for Canada to start the tournament with a draw?
Yeah, I think it's a positive result, especially the way the second half went. I think the boys felt themselves into the game, and as things went on and they really started to get a little bit more comfortable, I think the nerves got out of the system and guys started to showcase what they're all about. Obviously, anytime you have substitutions like that come on and make such an impact right away, it's huge. It's positive for the group. Coach feels good. Everyone's feeling great. And I think the important thing is we got it out the way and we got a result. I mean, obviously, everyone was talking about all of the stuff, all of the different options, how it was going to play out. Obviously, getting the win, you want to get that win on home soil. But I think the biggest thing was to just get out the way, get a result, don't lose, and keep going. And I think the positives we can take from the match are a handful, and guys can start to grow. I think they get the nerves out, as I've said, and you keep rolling now.
Gareth, does your opinion of the result change with the Qatar Swiss? We haven't got your take on that quite yet, but are you team good result as well?
I think it's still a disappointing result. I just have a hard time getting past the way that Canada played that game and what could have been in that match. It was almost as though everyone in the team was hoping to create something or something would be created rather than being able to go out and create it themselves. So that's the area that needs some work. I think it's still a work in progress. I watched just other teams in this tournament. I think that their structure maybe stands out a little bit more just in terms of the attacking process. But look, with every team on one point here, nothing really changes other than the fact that Switzerland aren't going to be resting and rotating for that last game because it's going to mean something. That's the biggest knock-on effect of both matches ending up in a draw in this group, that Switzerland doesn't have the luxury to rotate, but it doesn't change anything. You go in this next game, Canada should expect to win and should expect to grow from that performance. Maybe a couple guys get a little bit more match fit. As we mentioned, Ali Ahmed seems to be a prime candidate for that. He makes the team better. So it's not a bad result per se. I just think that they just weren't rewarded for inevitably the type of performance they put in against, for me, just an average side.
Kyle, one of the most important faces for Canada for many years now, but certainly coming into this tournament with so many injuries across the back line, is a guy you know well and have played with for many years, and that's Richie Laryea. I'm curious, as you sort of paralleled his career and watched him really become a mainstay in this Canadian national team, did you ever think you would be in the stands cheering him on at a World Cup?
No, I just think that's sort of like the nature of a lot of Canadian players and a lot of Canadian fans for the last couple of decades. The fact that we're hosting a World Cup is so surreal. How much the game has grown in our country has been special. It's crazy to be a part of. And Richie's just a byproduct of that. I mean, you can look at the start of his career. He was on the bench in the stands for the first 4 years of his career in Orlando, begging to get a game. Couldn't get any minutes here or there. Ends up being one of those guys who goes into Toronto, almost a final attempt to see what can happen. He ends up playing a different position and makes the most out of it. But that's his versatility. I think it speaks to his tactical awareness, the type of player he is. He's so bought into the team. He's bought into collective. He wants to go out, compete, and win. And he just wanted to be on the field, given an opportunity, and he took it. I mean, I think growing up, there is no chance I would ever said that he was going to be thriving at right back. Just because I'm a believer, I think he could still go into the middle and do a job, especially in this group too, with the weapons we have. I think you could put him into the middle, give Alfonso a little bit more support, allow him to go forward and not be so worried about what's going to be happening left exposed in the back because you have a guy like that playing behind him. So it's been fantastic to see. I mean, a kid from Sigma, what he's been about, how his career has gone, to take this chance to be playing in a World Cup at home. The second one it's insane.
Amy, you know the importance of having those types of teammates. And now, as a pundit, those day in, day out pros where you can throw them just about anywhere and you know they're going to put in a shift. I'm curious how you have seen Richie Laryea. He was one of those guys where we're wondering, is he fully match fit? How much can he give? And then you see the match against Boz and you're like, no, this guy, if he's not at 100%, he looks it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Or go ahead, Kyle.
No, I was gonna say, I'm sure some people in Toronto are probably kicking themselves, being where have you been? But obviously, there was some discussions that allowed him to take the time he needed to get match fit for this World Cup, knowing that there was something bigger at play, I'd say.
Yeah, I was going to just say that I think he was Canada's best player in 2025 when you had the likes of Alphonso Davies missing. And then we know the litany of injuries that this team and like the hand that they've been dealt with guys being unfit, but they've been able to rely on Richie. And I would even like to think that with a fully fit team, with Jesse Marsh having, a wealth of talent at his disposal to choose from, everybody available, I think that Richie Laryea would really give him a headache. Like, I think he'd have to maybe move some guys around in order to keep Richie as part of that starting 11. Like, are you of the same mind, Kyle, that if everybody was fully fit, Richie's got to be in that 11?
Yeah, I think there's no questions. His name has to be on the team sheet. I know there's been some times he's come off the bench. They've gone with Alistair on the right when he's kind of filled in for Fonzie on the left, and Fonzie coming back. You put Richie on the bench and hope that he can be that spark coming off. And that is one way to look at it, but I think the job that he's done, the consistency he's brought to the table, the performance he's put in week out for Toronto, and then every single time he puts on the Canada shirt, I think it would be a disservice to leave him on the bench for sure.
Okay, we love a debate on Bet365 for the win. And Gareth Wheeler, I know he's licking his lips ready to dive into this one. But the first question goes to you, Kyle Bekker, as a man who understands what it takes to play in a very successful midfield. The question for you is, which nation right now in world football fields the best midfield?
So my answer off the top of my head, without seeing every single team play yet, obviously I'm eagerly waiting to see what Portugal does. I think those two that they have at PSG are fantastic, and I think they're cut above everyone else. But for me right now, it's the Netherlands. I think those three, De Jong, Reinders, and Gravenberch, as they go, I think they can really find a form and be a problem. Obviously, I think they are going to struggle scoring goals in this tournament. That's a different conversation. But if we're looking at that midfield three, I think those three possess absolutely everything you want in the midfield trio. And when you got a guy like Frankie De Jong pulling the strings, the other two can cover so much ground, and they have the creativity to get forward. So I think they're a special three to watch. Gareth Wheeler.
It's Portugal. Portugal's the definitive answer. It's not just the PSG duo. It's Bruno Fernandes playing in front of them. I mean, there's balance, there's legs, there's quality. They are one, but the Netherlands would be in my top five, Kyle, so I have no problem with that. I think the German midfield is very, very good as well, to the point where they play Joshua Kimmich at right back in this tournament. Like, he could start basically for any team in the world at central midfield. He's that good. But Pavlovic is excellent. Musiala has returned form, playing a little bit in front of them. He's excellent as well. And we got to say England. England is definitely a top three midfield for me, with Declan Rice and the season that he had. Elliot Anderson has grown by leaps and bounds. There's balance. There's different profiles that they can bring in, whether it's Jude Bellingham playing in front of them or Morgan Rogers. I mean, that midfield three, the way that shapes out, has to be considered one of the best in the world as well.
Amy Walsh.
Yeah, I'm wondering why Wheeler, he's got the wheelhouse behind him, so he's clearly in his wheelhouse, why he's choosing two teams and screwing me as the person going last, because I also had England. But because I love Declan Rice. He's one of my favorite players. I was a midfielder as well, not nearly as skilled as he is, but what we do have in common is his ability to break up play. He initiates those press triggers, knits everybody together, and can drive them forward. And I think the addition of Anderson, as Wheels mentioned there, allows Declan Rice to play that more advanced role, which I think Tuchel was always looking for. But I think you got to give a shout to France as well. And I know I vilified Wheels for throwing out two, but I'm going to do the same. So I think that they don't prioritize that elegant play, and they maybe are missing that classic playmaker, but they prioritize the devastation. And I respect that. And you've got so much strength and potency across that front line that you need a little bit of that balance. And that's what France has in the middle of the park.
N'Golo Kante. Okay. I mean, he just covers so much ground. I mean, when France has been successful in the past, like he oftentimes can carry some of the midfielders he's playing with. Now Chouameni's in the midfield with him. It's a really good balance there between them. I'm surprised that Rabiot still makes the starting 11 more times than not. But man, like N'Golo Kanté, like Kyle Becker's the N'Golo Kanté of the CPL, aren't you, pal?
I was just going to say Richie Laryea is our Joshua Kimmich before this.
Keep things moving over. That's what you
went
do,
with the crazier
man.
one. Yeah. I think as we were hyping up Germany and Joshua Kimmich, I think that's Richie is the Canadian version of that. His ability to play in both roles. But Wheels, I think you outdone me with that one, man. I don't know. There's no chance I can take that comparison. But I don't think I've won enough tackles in my 15 years that he's done in a game. So yeah.
That might be true.
I have a question for Kyle, just if I can get in, Jenko. It's kind of famed now, or maybe infamous, that Richie said he's never gotten a red card. We know he hasn't gotten a red card or been sent off in a Canada kit, but you've known him for so long. Did it ever happen when you guys were playing together?
Oh, 100% this guy was getting sent off in a Sigma game for sure. We might have had a competition to see who could get in more trouble when we were younger. I was a little bit of a hothead, which is probably no surprise to a lot of people, but I think I've calmed down in my old age. But yeah, Richie, I think he's getting away with murder. I like him towing that line just because he brings that competitive edge, gets everyone fired up, clearly gets under the skin of everyone else. He's a madman to play against, winding everyone.
Kyle Bekker, a player we have loved to watch on the pitch and a player we are learning to love as a pundit as well. Special contributor to Bet365 for the win. Kyle Bekker, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you and talk to you again soon.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kyle.
We will see Kyle Bekker's Forge in action in the TELUS Canadian Championship quarterfinals. The quarterfinal round getting underway July the 8th on OneSoccer. They will play CS Saint Laurent. On that day, CF Montreal away to Vancouver and Cavalry away to the Whitecaps at a World Cup venue. Or perhaps not. We'll have to confirm that one. I imagine it's not.